All right, guys, welcome back to another review over here on Ride Electric Reviews. My name is Mike, and today we are going to be reviewing this awesome Kingbull cargo bike. Let's check it out. So this is the Kingbull Voyager 2.0, and it's a 750 watt small version of a cargo bike. I absolutely love cargo bikes that are small like this. I've reviewed a couple of other models, and it just makes them so much easier to maneuver, but yet you can still hold a lot of cargo on here because of the heavy duty rack on the back. We're going to take this out for a ride, and the first thing we are going to do is test the pedal assist. Let's go ahead and let's try it out. Okay, so we're out here on the Kingbull Voyager 2.0. Let's check out the pedal assist levels. Quick note about the sensor that's on this. This is a torque sensor, so it's going to be basically sensitive to your pedaling pressure. It's not going to be like a cadence sensor where you just turn the pedals and it goes full power. This is going to be more of an intelligent design that Kingbull put on here. I'll let you guys know how this torque sensor compares to some of the other brands that I've ridden out there. Torque sensors can vary quite a bit on how they feel based off of how the manufacturer has set them up. So let's go ahead. I've got it in pedal assist 1 right now. I'm going about 9 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2 picks up quite a bit of speed. Looks like I'm going about 14.5. Pedal assist 3. Now this is a 7-speed, and I'm going about 20 miles an hour now. So I am very close to ghost pedaling at 20 miles an hour and pedal assist 3. Pedal assist 4. Okay, I am completely ghost pedaling. So their torque sensor acts like a cadence sensor at higher speeds, I guess, because a typical torque sensor would not act this way. It would not apply any extra power. Right now it's acting like a cadence sensor, and I'm doing 23.6 miles an hour. Pedal assist 5, which is the highest pedal assist, is pretty quick. And again, feels like a cadence sensor, got a little bit of brake rub, but I am going 28.2 miles an hour. So 27.2 miles an hour is the peak that I've seen. And I'm in the hardest gear that I can get in, and I am definitely ghost pedaling, but at least I'm still accelerating, which is nice because sometimes with torque sensors, they stop accelerating. And if you're going to be ghost pedaling around 21, 22 miles an hour, like we're experiencing on this bike, you're going to want it to be more like a cadence sensor. So around 21 to 22 miles an hour, you can expect this bike to kind of not have any pedal pressure unless your cadence is extremely high, but it still accelerates because that torque sensor starts to act like a cadence sensor. So the thing that I would say would have potentially been a downfall with a torque sensor acting like a cadence sensor actually wound up benefiting this bike. So if you're in the mood to go super fast and get from point A to point B, put it in pedal assist 5 and then put it in the hardest gear and just go. Your pedaling will be super light and you'll basically be transported there. So not all bad. The 7-speed is what is causing the ghost pedaling, in my opinion. This Shimano 7-speed is a good 7-speed, but when you get above 22, any bike's going to have that problem with a 7-speed. So that is exactly how the pedal assists work on the Kingbull Voyager 2.0. We're going to go ahead next and talk about the price point that this bike falls within. You can get this bike at full retail for $1,399. I do think this is a really nice looking bike. You can get it in multiple colors, but I chose to get it in this super bright orange color, which makes it pop, makes you super visible out on the road, which is great for safety. I think it looks really, really nice. But also right now, as of recording this, looks like the Kingbull Voyager 2.0 is on sale for $1,299. So not too bad. This bike actually looks really, really nice up close. The paint job looks really good. I love the wood accents. And then I also love the alloy wheels. Now that we know a little bit more about this bike, we know how the pedal assist works, and we also know about the price point that this bike falls within. Next up, we're going to go ahead and test one of the most important things on any bike, and that's the brakes. This bike comes with Zoom hydraulic brakes. I know these brakes performed well on other bikes, so we're going to see how well it performs on the Kingbull. Let's go ahead and start this brake test. How I do this brake test is I get it all the way up to 20 miles an hour, and I slam on the brakes, and then I have a certain spot in this road that if I can actually stop before that or within a certain area, I consider it either a good or a bad braking system. So let's go ahead and get this up to speed and see if this thing has good brakes. I know these are good, but we'll see how good it stops this. These are Zoom brakes. Does look like it has 180 mil rotors, both front and back. So you are getting some high quality brakes here for this price point of a bike. Let's go ahead and start this. Got it in pedal assist 5. Let's get up to speed. And 20. Okay, we had a lot of squealing there. Woo! I do think that this hot weather that we're experiencing right now it's well into the upper 90s and super humid here. I think it has some adverse effects on the braking and the squealing of the tires. The last couple of bikes I've reviewed have had that. This bike performed about average. It didn't excel, but it didn't go past the point of what I would consider an average braking setup. So right about here is where it stopped. And I always initiate this line or this crack in the concrete as the average point. In between here is really good average. Anything past this is an amazing braking. Anything past that is not so good. So the Kingbull Voyager 2.0 did well on the braking, performed as I would expect. And that's really nice considering that these have heavier alloy wheels. These aren't just traditional spoke wheels. These wheels are going to be a little bit more heavy, meaning that they're going to be heavy duty. You're not going to have to worry about them going out of true if you hit a pothole or anything like that. These alloy wheels are always going to stay true the entire time that you own this bike. So the braking did perform really well. And I also think that if we were on a little bit cooler weather, everything wasn't so stinking hot, that these tires would probably grip a little bit more. But overall, good braking job by the Kingbull. So as you guys just saw, the Kingbull's Zoom brakes did perform really well. Let's go ahead and do the 0 to 20 test. This is one of my favorite tests because we test both pedal assist and throttle. I can't wait to see what this bike can actually do. Okay guys, we are here to do the 20 mile an hour test. This is where I go from 0 to 20 with pedal assist and with throttle. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and start this with the pedal assist. I've got it in pedal assist 5. I've got it in the hardest gear, and we're going to get our pedal ready so we can give this bike a fair chance to see how well this bike does. And we go by the speedometer that is built into the bike, not by GPS. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. Pedal assist test 0 to 20, 10, 14, and 20. That seemed pretty quick. I'm guessing that that's probably going to be in the top 5 bikes that I've tested on quickness. That seemed really fast. I'm guessing that was in the 6-second range, maybe even the low 7s. So pretty good performance there. But now the big test is how powerful is this 80 Newton meter, 750 watt motor? How quick can this thing get from 0 to 20 with the throttle? Got it in pedal assist 5. And here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. Pedal assist, throttle test, 0 to 20. There's 10, 15, 17, 20. So there you go. These are the times for both pedal assist and throttle, 0 to 20. You guys be the judge. What do you think? Do you think that this was done in a good time? I feel like this bike is pretty quick. The throttle was nice and smooth off the line. It didn't jolt me. Sometimes you get these bikes that have 750 watt motors and they will jolt you and kind of like almost startle you just a little bit. Not the Kingbull Voyager 2. It's a nice smooth start, but has power to accelerate. So that kind of power is the type of power that I prefer in my cruising style e-bikes. So what do you guys think of the Kingbull on the 0 to 20 test with both pedal assist and throttle? That is such a fun test to do because every bike performs so differently. I never know what I'm going to get. Now next up, we're going to go over some of the details on this bike so you guys can know even more information about the Kingbull Voyager 2.0. Let's go ahead and let's talk about a few of the details that come on this bike. Now, one of the things that's kind of unique about this is they give you two kickstand options. This has either a double-footed kickstand or a standard kickstand. I have both of them installed right now because I'm going to be real honest, the standard kickstand came installed and I didn't notice it while I was installing the dual-footed kickstand. If it were me and I was going to be carrying a lot of groceries and things like that, I would put the double-footed kickstand on. But if I wasn't going to do that, if I was just going to be riding this around without any groceries or anything heavy on the back, I would leave the single-sided kickstand on. The only reason why is because this double-sided kickstand, it does sit very, very low to the ground. So if you're going to be doing anything that's going to be kind of maybe off-road or going over some really big curbs or anything, there's a possibility that you could hit that kickstand, where with the single-sided one, you won't have that problem. That's going to be up to you as a rider, what kind of kickstand you want. I prefer the single-sided, but it's nice that they included those both in my box. And I'm not sure if that's going to be a standard thing or if that was just how they shipped this particular bike. But a couple other things, this does have a nice big rack on the back. As you can see, it's literally part of the frame with this wooden top. You get a front headlight and a tail light. This suspension is a coil suspension. It's pretty good. I haven't had any complaints as far as smoothing out the road. It does a good job of smoothing out the road. But I also think that these CST tires do an amazing job of smoothing out the road. These fat tire bikes really kind of do a good job on their own of making this, making your ride a lot smoother than say a standard tire would, like on a hybrid style bike. The seat overall is definitely nice and cushiony. No problems there. It's not too cushiony. Some bikes you get too big a seat and they're just not comfortable. With this Kingbull, it's nice and comfortable. I really like it. Plenty of adjustability for rider height. Here are the rider heights that Kingbull actually recommends for this particular bike. A couple other key things that this bike does offer: these BMX style bars. I really like BMX style bars for two reasons. One, the adjustability, and two, you have more room to mount accessories. If you like to have a phone on your bike, or if you like to have a bell or any other type of accessory, you have plenty of room because you have an additional bar on a BMX bar that you wouldn't have on a traditional bar. Now you will get some ergonomic lock-on grips. Real interesting, this one over here is a shorter grip to fit all of the control modules than this one over here. And then, of course, you've got your zoom brakes, you've got your throttle. You also have lights and horns. It's a separate control unit. And then you have a small control unit to turn the bike on and then change between your pedal assist levels. It's super bright out here. As you guys can see, the sun is straight up in the air and I can see this screen just fine as is. So overall, I think the Kingbull bike is a very nice looking bike. It's braked really well. The acceleration was really good. The torque sensor acts like a torque sensor at lower speeds and acts like a cadence sensor at higher speeds. So this bike is pretty interesting. For me personally, I would not install these foot pegs. I've had them run into the back of my heel a couple of times. And also I had that issue where the plastic would not stay on there and it actually came off. So I'm going to personally uninstall these for whenever I ride this around. That way I don't get any interference with my back of my heel. Now, if you were having somebody ride on the back of this, I could definitely see why you would want to have those pegs installed. But for me, I'm not going to have anybody riding on the back of this. I would use this more for going to the grocery store and picking up groceries, having some bags on here, things like that. Now, do take note, these will not accept standard pannier bags. These bars are not normal sized bars for holding pannier bags. You're going to have to look and see what kind of bag would work for this whenever you go to purchase it. My suggestion is like a pannier bag that actually goes over the entire top with a bag in the middle. They make those all over the place. Kingbull may sell them on their website, but you can also find them on Amazon and Walmart and all those. You can get that kind of pannier bag that goes over the rack so it's secure on all sides of the rack. Now, this particular model that I've got is the single battery version. They do sell a dual battery version. The single battery is a 15 amp hour battery, and they say that they'll get you about 60 miles of range, which seems about right for that size of a battery and the standard rating that they have for batteries out there. They say that they are Samsung cells, so it's good to see name brand cells on this particular bike. But if you wanted a dual battery version, they do sell that, and it runs a little bit higher price. It's $1,699 as of recording this video. So if you want to get a little bit more range, or if you plan on putting a lot of weight on here and going higher speeds, you may want to check out the dual battery version of the Kingbull Voyager 2.0. So those are some pretty good details that you probably wanted to know about this particular bike. Next up, we're going to see how well this thing can switch from pedal assist to throttle and throttle to pedal assist. Okay, let's go ahead and test and see how quickly it goes from throttle to pedal assist and pedal assist to throttle. We're going to start out with throttle. We're in pedal assist 5, and we're going to get going, throttle, 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 and pedal. That was instant. There was 0 delay. Now I need to kind of slow down because the throttle only goes up to 20 because this is a class 3 bike and we were at 23. So I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to go pedal, 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 and then throttle. There was a millisecond, maybe a quarter of a second delay between switching between pedal assist to throttle, but there was 0 delay when I switched from throttle to pedal assist. So that's a really good sign. Whenever you can throttle through an intersection, kick in the pedals, and it's just there. It just goes. It's instant. That's what I like to see. I don't want any delay on that particular test. So it's really nice that Kingbull has a very sensitive pedal assist sensor, so you can switch between both the throttle and the pedal assist quickly. So we are finally down to the very last test in all the tests that I do, and this is probably the most challenging for every bike. I started not long ago doing both the pedal assist and throttle test going up this big hill. Now, if you're familiar with my hill test, you know that this is a 19% grade that goes on for well over 1/10 of a mile. This is a big hill for my area, and it always pushes every bike to its limit. We're going to go ahead and pedal assist up this hill, and we're going to throttle up this hill. You're going to see both of these at the exact same time. You're going to hear all the audio from the pedal assist portion because I think that is the most important when it comes to this style of bike. Most people are going to be using this bike to pedal around, but you always want to have that option to be able to throttle. So when we get to the top, I'll display the time to get up the hill with pedal assist, and I'll display the time to get up the hill with throttle. My number one rule for this hill climb is if the pedal assist can get us up to the top of the hill without dropping below 10 miles an hour, then I consider it a good hill climber. Let's go ahead and climb that hill. So let's go ahead and get both these tests started in 3, 2, 1, go. Get the pedal assist going. See how quick we can get up to. All right, we're cruising. We're at almost 20 miles an hour already. We're not even to the start of the hill. At the start of the hill, we're looking at 25 miles an hour. This thing got up to speed really, really well. We're going to see how this does. I have a feeling the Kingbull might surprise us going up this hill. Right now, it's about, I would say 15% grade. And it's growing smooth up this hill. We're 18 miles an hour. Here is the 19%. We're going to do our first shift. It shifted well under load. 15 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour. See if we can maintain above that 10 mile an hour that I like to maintain above for hill climbing. We did it. 13, 14. We only went down to about 13.1. And that's the hill climb for the pedal assist. Very impressive. This bike is truly a hill climber. It did really, really well. Okay, so there's the Kingbull Voyager 2 and all the tests that I like to perform on all my e-bikes. Let's go ahead and head back to the house. We'll go over the menu system, the display, and everything that goes along with it. And we'll also talk about what I think of this bike overall. Let's go. Overall, I say this bike performed really well. And also for the price point that this comes in at, you're getting some really cool features, including these awesome wheels. And having a wheel set that you know is not going to go out of true and you're not going to have trouble with spokes is really a truly added value. Now let's go ahead and check out the display and all of the menu settings. All right, guys, we're taking a look at the display here. You've got your battery up here. That's going to only give you bars. It's not going to give you a percentage. Then you've got your speed. You've got your assistance level, which will go all the way up to 5. And then you've got your odometer reading. If you tap the power button, it'll change it to trip. Then it'll change it to voltage. and then it'll change it to time. And remember, just like all other e-bikes, this is on time, not ride time. Then we're going to go back to this, which I believe is how many amps you're producing. I'm not 100% sure on that particular setting. And then back to the odometer. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the menu system here. This is going to be a standard menu system where you're going to have the P settings. If you look at this P01, that's going to be your backlight setting. If you leave it on 4, it automatically adjusts. If we go to P02, that's going to be able to change it between miles per hour and kilometers. P03 is going to be your working voltage. You're not going to want to change that. P04 is going to be your auto shutoff, and it defaults in at 5 minutes. It can go all the way up to 60 minutes. P05 is going to be your pedal assist mode. So this function can be adjusted, but I'm not sure what it does. P06 is going to be your wheel size. You're not going to want to change that. P07 is going to be the number of magnets for your speed sensor. Again, I wouldn't change that. P08 is going to be your speed limit, and 28 is the max. P09 is going to be your zero start. Basically, if you have this set on the default, it's going to start on 0. And so basically you can just throttle from 0. If you change it, you won't be able to throttle until you start pedaling. P010 is called drive mode. They say don't adjust it. P011 is pedal assist. Again, they say don't adjust it. P012 is going to be your pedal assist start strength. They say don't adjust it. P13 is going to be your pedal assist disc type. Don't adjust that. P14 is going to be your control current. They say don't adjust it. P15 is going to be your under voltage setting. Again, don't adjust that. P16 is going to be your screen reset. If you hold the minus button for 5 seconds, it will reset everything. P17 is going to be your cruise control. It does come on, so this bike does apparently have cruise control. I never got it to activate, but I did not realize that that was on there. So I think doesn't look like you can actually adjust that. So maybe that doesn't actually function on this bike. P18 is your speed ratio. They say don't adjust it or can't adjust. P19 is the 0 pedal assist display. They say you can't adjust it. P20 is your view protocol. Can't adjust that one. P99 is not in here. I don't know what that is. And then we go back to the start. They do list P21 and P22 in the manual, but it doesn't show up on my menu here. So that's all the menu settings that you guys have access to. All right, guys, that was the menu settings and the display. So what do you guys think of the Kingbull Voyager 2? If it were me, the only thing that I would change on this bike is the foot pegs. The foot pegs only screw in with 2 4mm Allen keys, and I feel like they could be a little bit beefed up to make them a little bit more secure. I actually wound up taking them off of my bike because I didn't feel like they could support the proper amount of weight. But other than that, this bike is pretty promising for the price point. If you guys want to pick one up, I'll put some links down below. And as always, if you want to subscribe, that really does help out this channel. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, all of those things. But as always, get out there and ride your e-bike.